Greetings everyone, Raymond Lacoste here, AWS instructor at StormWind Studios, and I want to discuss subnetting in the cloud. Now hang on, whoa, don't click the X for this video because you're like, oh, not another subnetting video, I've seen enough of them. Well, wait a second. If you've never subnetted in the cloud before, there's a difference, and I want to cover that difference right now. That's what this video is about, the difference between subnetting in your on-prem data center versus subnetting in the cloud. Because if you are planning at any point in time to migrate from your on-prem data center to the cloud, you need to know this, just in case it affects you. So here we go. Look at this subnet. It is a /24 subnet, and therefore, typically, you'd have 254 available IPv4 addresses. In this case, it says I only have 251. 3 of them just magically disappear. And down here, you can see I have some /20 examples, and they are coming in at 4,091, not 4,094 like we would have in our on-prem data centers. So why is this happening? Well, let's think back to the past years when maybe we were preparing for Network Plus, or we were preparing for Cisco exams, or we were preparing for Windows Server networking exams. Every time there was a subnetting component to those exams, you had to figure out the best possible subnet size that would leave you with enough addresses to meet your requirements. So there was a rule you had to follow, and that was once you figure out the subnet size and you figure out then the number of host addresses total, you can subtract 2 from whatever that value is. So with a /24, you get 256 total addresses, but 2 are reserved for the network address and the directed broadcast address, leaving you with what? 254 left over. Likewise here, /20 gives you 4,096, subtract 2. The answer was 4,094. So for all those exams, you subtract 2. Well, in the cloud with AWS and Azure, you subtract 5. Meaning if you take any AWS exam, you take any Azure exam, and you are asked to subnet, you have to subtract 5. You subtract 2, and you pick the answer that subtracted 2, you are wrong. You got to subtract 5. So I'll tell you now, both the subtract 2 and the subtract 5 answers are in the options. Why? Because they want to get you. So here's the reason why. You have an address reserved for the network address, an address reserved for the virtual router, an address reserved for DNS, an address reserved for future use, and an address reserved for the directed broadcast address. 5 total reserved addresses. That's the catch. So if you're never exam bound, is this still going to affect you? Yes, because let's say right now, your subnet with your servers in it is taking up 252 addresses. Then a /24 will not work for you in the cloud. Let's say it's using 253 addresses. A /24 will not work for you in the cloud because of the 5 reserved addresses. So be mindful of that. If you're planning a migration or you're planning to sit for an AWS or Azure exam, -5. And that will give you your available IPv4 addresses. So folks, if you're looking for more information, more training, more tips, more techniques for your IT environments, please check us out at StormWind Studios for all your training needs. See you in a future session with us, folks, at StormWind Studios. Take care and bye for now.